So you think I'm some kind of mercenary?
Ezra, my boy, how do you doing?
That's right. Yeah, it's like it's racist. It's tough.
I'm a Mandalorian. Weapons are part of my religion.
But don't just follow orders.
This is the way.
I have a bad feeling about this. You are listening to Red Mandos, a Helldivers podcast dedicated to everyone's favorite skirmish game from a galaxy far, far away. Did I say that right? Is that what we are?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yeah, we're a Helldivers podcast, but we talk about Shatterpoint sometimes, I suppose. Joining me as always is Red Mando 2. How are you?
I'm good, Red Mando 1. Happy to be here. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so this is a shorter episode, and we have a specific kind of topic or main event in mind that we're going to remind people of. But before we get there, we do have a few segments to get to first, and the first one is going to be the segment you named, Shatterpointed. So, what have you been doing with the hobby side or the game side of this game in the last couple of weeks?
Well, unfortunately, I have not really been able to get many games in. You know, I prefer to play in person, and I
Yep.
kind of have two things that I do of a week. But it was like the guy that runs the Tuesday was sick, and then last Tuesday the weather was all crazy. So like I was like, I better stay home because there was like severe weather warnings.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't travel unless you have to, kind of thing. So I stayed home, and then Thursdays I think we're going to be kicking off. So the league that I was running. That I was playing in on Thursdays. That finished 2 weeks ago, and then we had a quick break in between whilst the structure of the league gets changed. So I
Right.
haven't actually played any Shatterpoint in a while. I did though. I did bust out the paints again,
Nice.
and I painted up Jedi Master Plo Koon,
Yeah.
which was actually really fun. Like he was I wasn't sure that I was going to like it, but then when I got into it, I had good fun with the robes and I had good fun with his head.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had good fun painting him up. I did have a little bit of a disaster with some varnish, so I put some varnish on, and it reacted with the very thin paints for the highlights and kind of killed the highlights. So I had to go back and reapply the highlights.
Yeah.
But I
So.
think he's looking all right now.
So basically, what you're telling everyone is you need thickest coats possible to avoid this from happening in the future, right? Like really
I don't,
thick laid on thick.
I don't know if that's the answer or there's another answer that's better. If somebody has a solution to this problem, they should join our Discord and let us know. I did
It's
post.
free.
Yeah, it's free. That's right. You don't even have to pay. You don't have to like become a patron to get access to the Discord. It's free for everybody. No gatekeeping here.
No.
And I did put up a whole bunch of progress pics because I was kind of seeing how quickly I could paint Plo.
Yeah.
So I put up a whole bunch of progress pics. I'm not sure if everybody enjoyed those or not, but it was a kind of an interesting exercise.
No,
That
there
was
was
fun.
lots of discussion around it actually. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, because I think what we were, I guess, throwing around the idea of maybe get everybody who's interested on some kind of stream and then like paint for a couple of hours with everybody else painting and then see what we can all achieve after 2 hours or so. I think that'd be kind of fun, and I think the community, the Red Mando community, would seem to be keen on that idea. So that's something that we might look at. And then I finished off. Well, okay, it's very very close to being finished. I just need to add. Once some resin dries, I just need to add a few more finishing touches, but then I will have finished my Darth Vader Redeemed.
Oh, you said resin dries. There must be something special happening there.
No, it's just because I do like I often do like a beach type.
You do, yes.
Yeah, bases, and so I paint the water on, and then I put resin over the water to make it shiny and give it some texture. And then once that's dried, there's like foam. There's like resin foam that makes it look like the water is foaming up as it laps up on the beach. Yeah, the wash on of the waves. So I've just got to apply that once I'm sure the resin has dried on the water.
Yep.
So that's my hobby, and that's really all the Shatterpoint that I've done. I know you've played a bunch of games, so tell us
Yeah.
all.
Oh no, well I've just been playing a bunch of games on TTS. Obviously, like I've said before, I really would like to play more in person. I just don't get the opportunity. Yeah, I've been playing with not released yet, but Hunter and the Bad Batch, and pairing him with different Jedi primaries to see kind of what I can get, or Galactic Republic primaries, I should say, to see what I can get out of him. And he's incredible. He makes clones so consistent. So yeah, I've had some successes, some failures. I played Judge Assault, who, if you're familiar with Longshanks rankings, he's like ranked number 4, and he's like got every Republic kind of primary. He's like the first ranked for every Republic primary. So yeah, he smacked me up real nice, but he taught me lots of things. So no, it was good to get a game against someone like him, particularly because he's from Italy, and I would never have the chance to play him otherwise. So. Yeah, no, having lots of fun playing. And in terms of painting, I haven't painted a model in a little while. But what I have done is there's the guy from 3D Racing Solutions. Yeah, it's called Racing Solutions, but he sent me a bunch of
The guy,
the guy who's definitely
the,
not my brother. Not advertising him at
the
all.
guy.
The guy. Sent me a bunch of Shatterpoint terrain. So it's called the Pirate Outpost from Imperial Terrain, and it's just got a bunch. He pre-printed at two different sizes. He printed 100% scale and 130% scale. So I've got a bunch of skiffs, like the sail barges and the skiffs, and like little outposty things with like rock kind of terrain with like gantries on top of it, and it looks really really cool. So we've been busting out the shitty brushes, the beat up dry brushing is the quickest way to get through that, I think. So it's not going to look amazing because I still want the emphasis to be on the models. Like I don't want the terrain to overshadow people's models on the table. I think that's something. So I think I've gone for like more muted colors so that the minis actually stand out on the board rather
That's a
than
good
terrain.
call. That's a good call. So I'm curious about this 130% versus the 100.
Yeah.
Like, does the 100 look too small with the Shatterpoint minis, or does the
No.
130 look too big? Like,
No, I think both are fine. I think 130. Oh, because I think this set was designed for Shatterpoint. I think the 130 looks a little big.
but I mean, you could say it's just a bigger barge, right? Like in some ways, the barge
So
is.
totally, I've got so basically the bigger sail barge. I've put the sail on top, like yeah, the sail, right? I put like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shade cloth on top, and I put like the little wings on it. So and it's like a little gate on it, so it looks more like official, or
yes,
like more royal. And the little
yeah.
skiff, I didn't adorn it with anything more than just like the two pieces that click together. So it looks just kind of like a guard skiff. So yeah, I did yeah, adorn them differently, so they did look different. Not just one was big, one was small. Which I
Yeah,
think
I think
adds some
that'll
texture.
yeah, I think that'll come out looking really well. And when you've looking really good when when you get it painted up, because you want some variety in there, right? Like,
Yeah, that's right. And I've because my brother forgot to print the gantries, and I told him not to worry because I've got plenty of gantries anyway. But what I've done was I got some paddle pop sticks and I glued them together like bridges, and then I cut off the rounded edges and I burnt them. So there's
ooh,
like scorch marks through these kind of like wooden gantries because everyone's just got these metal gantries. No matter what terrain you buy or print, generally the gantries come out like metallic. So my walkways are timber.
that's cool.
Yeah, something. So just a point of difference, and I've burnt them. So I got to figure out a way. I got to knock off all the excess broken bits so no one gets ash on their minis because I don't think anyone's gonna be happy with me if that happens. But
Are you
um,
gonna
I'll seal them
paint?
up.
You're gonna paint over them, or is this just the burning is the extent of
No, the raw wood look, because it's like a pirate
the
outpost.
raw paddle pop look with
I put,
burnt
uh,
edges?
I try. Here we go. This is not a lie. I tried. You know when you age a map, fake
Yeah,
map,
like
you put like
you soak it in
tea.
tea. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to soak the bridge in tea, and I don't think it did anything. I think the pedal pops were too water, not water resistant necessarily because they obviously absorb, but they rejected the tea coloring. So.
Going back to your D&D roots, where you soak the edges in T and
Oh,
then
this you know too
on
much.
the edges.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, crumpled maps. Yeah,
Classic,
classic.
classic.
So no, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun just going. I mean, I hate painting terrain, but just doing some of the crafting things around it is kind of fun.
Yeah, you put some pictures up on the Discord as well.
It was
So
all kind of unpainted. I think half painted maybe at that stage.
yeah, it's got
Uh,
different colors. I was like, did your brother use different resin, or have you like semi-painted
oh
some of
no,
it?
he did use different PLA, printed it on a PLA printer or an ABS. I can't
Oh
remember.
yeah, sorry, yeah, it's not resin.
It's not no, because resin would be crazy to print that much. So he can
Mm,
hollow it out, so it's using less. But yeah, he did print it on some different colors as well, just whatever he had left over.
nice.
And then I went and it's only like half painted. So, but no, yeah, they line up. It's gonna be fun to play on, just because it's gonna be something different, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be super cool.
And hopefully getting it out for ShireCon on the 20th of April. So, not that we've been told to do this, but if you haven't got tickets yet and you live in Sydney, why not? Like it's going to be fun day. I think it's more casual event than anything anyway because it's an unrated tournament. So
That's it.
yeah,
You
just get yourself
play
down there. Bring
play some
Hondo.
crazy. Yeah, bring Hondo.
Bring
Play
Hondo.
some crazy lists, whatever you like. No, it
That's
should be
right.
good. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll be
Uh,
there.
I'll be there as well. So, if only we had some t-shirts that had like Red Mando on there.
Ah, if only Redbubble didn't say it was ripping off LucasArts and I had to file
An
uh,
appeal.
an appeal for that. Yeah, so and
Hopefully we get that sorted.
that's gone nowhere yet, so I'm not happy, but anyway, that's a long
Didn't
story.
you got one though, right?
Yes, because because it said like you need to wait 3 days or something as they review it, but as they were doing that, I could click on and buy one. So if you really want one, I can still do it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, actually,
I
I should
think
be doing that.
it should, yeah, yeah. That'd be great. We won't get it by the 20th, but for the next one, that'd be cool.
You know what? Let me give it a go.
Ah, he's doing it now.
Let me give it a go. All right. Talking about Red Mandos and things that you can
Red
get.
Mando related.
Yeah, you should become a Red Mando patron, right? Is that what we are telling people to do?
I think we tell them not to, but
Oh,
if
yeah. But if you're crazy enough,
if you're crazy enough, if you're a mad lad, you can become a patron. We do have the Backrooms channel,
yeah, we do.
and we do release the uncut, unadulterated, the more uncut and more unadulterated version of the cast to
Some
the patrons.
some people would say it's too raw. It's yeah.
I'd say it is too raw.
Yeah.
There's minimal editing.
There is, I'm
Even
telling you right now, there is
even
no
less
editing. It's got
even
the
less
preamble,
editing.
like, "Hey,
That's
Michael, how you
true.
doing today? I haven't talked to you for a week. Like, what's going on, man?" Like, it's got all that shit in it,
I
and
love it. I love it.
so if you really want to hear what we really like, which is completely different to this, right? You can get the uncut version. Also, you get access to playing Helldivers because
That's right.
JB, the big dog himself, we got to play Helldivers with him.
We
Um,
did.
yeah, and that was totally obviously part of the patron access for him,
It
and
was, yeah.
he
It's
got a
that
free.
whole pay to be friends with people.
That's right. That's right. And he got a free B2. Just, well,
Oh,
not
that's
free. You have
right.
to pay us to do that, obviously. So, if you want something similar, no
It's
promises.
patreon.com/redmandoscast. You can sign up there. And a big thank you to both of our patrons, JB and the man himself, Captain Cook.
Yeah, cool.
Captain Koo, sorry, get it right.
Well, he's doing some cool new paint on
I
his
know,
Kenobi
right?
at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah,
Kenobi. That looks
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Keen to see
He
how that
did.
turns out for him.
I know Eric B, one of the other members, he put up some cool Lumi Barris, and he also had a Plo that had blue robes, and I was like, do I steal this blue robes Plo? And then I thought, no, I'll go traditional Plo.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, Captain Koo, he's doing the blue robes Kenobi, and it's looking schmick so far.
I do like it. Yeah. I mean, I do like painting Jedi robes.
Yeah, I think I feel like I've got a good recipe now for brown robes, just as I've painted pretty much all the Jedi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Everyone's got their thing, man. Like.
that's the way though.
we're all plotting along. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the
That's
way.
right.
Just before we get into talking about the man himself, the most recently released character, Hondo, and if you're gonna buy his box, you may as well sign up to our Patreon because you must be mad, lad. Because
You've got money to burn.
yeah, they're both as useless as each other. Our podcast and the Hondo box. Spoilers alert. I just wanted to touch on something I've been meaning to say for a little while. I stumbled across a YouTube channel called Bombad Tactics, and he does
Ah, yeah.
like Shatterpoint kind of puzzles. Like, here's the scenario. What do you do in the scenario to score maximum VPs? And it's such an amazing channel. His battle reports are really fun as well. It's always really thematic. But yeah, the Shatterpoint puzzles that he does just really opens your perspective as to what can I do on a turn when I flip this character. It's super cool. I definitely recommend checking it out because he's completely impartial. He's not saying like this is the best model or that's the best model. It's just you're in this situation, you're playing against these units, you're playing with these units. What do you do? I think it's really good for just figuring out those puzzles that the game can throw you. So yeah, super recommend checking him out.
Yeah, I concur. I haven't watched the videos, but I've read some of the stuff that he put up before.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no, his videos are really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The puzzles sound amazing.
Yeah, he throws up like 3 or 4 puzzles per video, and a video is only like 7 minutes long. So, while you're sitting there on the toilet, instead of scrolling through TikTok, watch his videos, get an education. Yeah, it's really good.
Good call. Good call.
All right, Red Mando 2, we come to what we both kind of denied if we should even talk about him. But it's the Hondo box. Everyone's favorite pirate in Star Wars.
That's good business. Squad pack.
There you go.
Weird.
Can you give me a bit of your Hondo? Break me off in a Hondo impression.
I don't think I can do it. I can't do a Hondo. He's like, yes. I mean, it's like he's got a terrible accent, doesn't he?
It's kind of like Watto, but less racist.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. He's
I
like,
mean-
I'm Hondo. Yes, we're friends, aren't we? I don't know. Like,
Oh, yeah. Ezra,
yeah, I
my
don't.
boy, how do you doing?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
it's like
yeah.
it's racist. It's tough.
I'm allowed to do it, I think, because
You're allowed to do it because you're like somewhat semi nearby. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
that's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm semi nearby. If you look at me, you might be confused. Oh, what ethnicity is this guy? I could get away with it. Yeah, that's
Well,
why
I mean, under the helmet,
under
you
the
could be
helmet, no one
anything.
knows. That's right. Yeah, we're all Mandalorian under the helmet.
That's it.
Yeah, so Hondo's just been released last week here in Australia, at least, and he comes with obviously 2 other units. He's only got 1 support and 1 secondary, which is pretty much the standard. But we're seeing some boxes come out with 2 secondaries, which is cool.
Yeah, well, I think we've had boxes with lots of options recently, right? And even more, some more coming up. So he's, I guess, this box is a step back to the traditional 1 primary, 1 secondary, 1 support.
The age-old tradition of 8
That's
months
it.
ago.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And the supporting unit does have two characters in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, Hondo he's a popular character, right? Like a lot of people really like Hondo.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I can kind of give or take. Like I don't massively find him interesting.
Yeah.
Having, fairly recently gone through Clone Wars and then I'm on to the 4th season of Rebels now.
Yeah.
He just doesn't do it for me. Like I think I don't massively enjoy the stereotypical kind of aspect to some of George Lucas's, I guess, writing that they then have carried on to other aspects of the Star Wars lore. And I don't know, he just kind of doesn't do anything for me. But I know he's a popular character. I think the pose that they've got is a very kind of like Hondo pose.
Oh, it's so Hondo. Yeah.
So
With
I
the
think
little parrot on it. I don't know what's that race of
it's not a parrot, right? It's
No,
like,
it's Salacious Crumb's race, but it's meant to
yeah,
be a parrot because he's a pirate. It's meant to be his parrot.
yes, yeah, very colourful.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he's got like the cheesy smile, and he's doing the whole disarming arms wide thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I feel like they did a good job on his sculpt because it feels pretty good for Hondo. The
Agreed.
rest of the box, though, I don't like it.
They're pirates. They're stealing things. Like one guy's got that ice cream container from Empire Strikes Back that now has just been like canonized as like a vault to hold like credits. Which I think is kind of
Sure.
cool. Yeah, I kind of like that aspect, like what he's holding. Yeah, but the rest of the box is, it's standard kind of. It's what do you reckon? I give it a 5 out of 10. Kind of the poses, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think
They're not awful. They're not bad.
they're not awful, and the skin might be interesting to paint. Like,
Yeah, because it's got like that crackly
yeah, the weak hay. I
weak
don't know how
way.
to say
Yeah, weak
weak
way.
way. So yeah, like the skin looks like it might be interesting to paint. I don't know. I know the guy that you're talking about that's holding the ice cream container. He and Guam. So Guam's the secondary. I feel
Yeah.
like they've got very similar poses.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of that happening. Like the Mandalorians have very similar poses. Particularly the male Clan Kreese
And
uh,
Django.
and Django. They got painted pretty much the same as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just colored by the fact that when I look at their cards, I think they're terrible.
You wouldn't be the only person to think that.
Have you played with them?
I've played with Hondo.
And what did you
I
take them with?
Okay, so I took Hondo with the Bad Batch. Because Hondo's ability, so his identity fair, what's fair, benefits scoundrels, and the Bad Batch have the scoundrels tag. And so it was Hondo, with Rekka and the ARFs for the expose, and then I took Hunter with Crosshair and Echo and Tech. Now, I didn't realize that Hondo's I did before I took him, because obviously the points line up. Hondo's 7 points, right? And I thought
Yep.
getting so Hondo's tactics ability is for every point that your opponent holds when you flip him, when you activate him, you get a force back. So generally you're getting 1 to 2 force back, struggles 2 and 3, and struggle 1, you may be getting lucky, you may be getting 3 force back, right? Which it's a risk kind of reward kind of thing. So like if your opponent has more points and you're losing in that sense, well then you're getting lots of force back. The problem is you'd never want to shatter point him because he just doesn't have an impactful turn. So he can choose any unit on the board and he spends a force and they can get a free dash, which is kind of cool. I just don't think he has a great impact. His tree's not amazing. He only gets 5 dice in melee, which is awful. Even if you plus 2 dice, you're only really going to get 7, which I just don't think it's enough to get through his tree. And his defensive expertise is not bad. Like on the clever captain side, he's turning crits off, which is super for defensive expertise. But I just don't think he has a super impactful turn. So he kind of wants to sit at the back, be a back point holder, I suppose, like we talked about. But the issue with his identity is the strain goes on after the attack is resolved, which, all the Bad Batch have heals in their tree, so they can heal.
But
And I didn't realize. I thought the strain went on when you did the attack, not after it resolved. So I thought, pairing him with the Bad Batch, they're all scoundrels. They can all, well, apart from Echo. I don't know why. Sorry, not Echo. Crosshair. I don't know why Crosshair doesn't have the
because
scoundrel tag.
he follows the orders, mate.
Oh,
He's
that's
not a
right. Good
scoundrel.
soldiers
He
follow.
follows, yeah,
That's
good
right.
soldiers follows orders. Come on, come on.
That's right. Yeah,
Good
but
soldiers follow orders.
that was good actually. Yeah, so I played one game with him, and I didn't feel he had enough impact on the board. And what he does, he doesn't really serve to do anything because you're not going to want to take a strain on the units to get 2 extra dice, as if.
Yeah, like it's
Would you rather
it's
not, like hypothetically, right? I take the exact same squad. I replace Hondo with Vader 1. Vader 1 gives me 3 dice, and I can heal that off.
you can heal it off.
I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
get to use my heal.
You
So
don't have to have an ally
and
also engaged with you. No,
That
with the defender, yeah.
that's right. And because with Hondo, he only brings 2 force, Vader brings 4 force. So I'm already getting, I'm already getting 2 extra force per rotation, per deck rotation. So even if Hondo refreshes 2 for me, I'm already at the same force level with Vader. So I
Yeah, so
don't yeah.
like I look at Hondo, so let's just quickly he only gives you 7 squad points. He brings
Yeah.
2 force.
Yeah.
And I think that like it's almost like the only good thing on his card is inspiring stories, so many of them true.
Oh, I think
Which is
that's just good business is good as well, right? That is
uh,
objectively good.
I mean, yeah, okay, that's fine, but it could be completely useless, right? It could be that you
Oh,
draw him and you're
totally.
at full force, right? And then
Well,
you're like, well, cool, I spend 1 to reserve him, and I guess I can get that 1 back when he activates. Like,
yeah.
and as you said, and I think this is kind of one of the issues, as you said, first struggle, sure, you may get 2 or 3 force back.
You may even
But
get 4 if you're playing
if
shit.
you're losing, yeah, if you're
Yeah.
losing badly. But where you really want your force back is not necessarily in the first struggle, but more
No.
likely in struggle 2 and 3, where a few units are being wounded and now your abilities are costing a lot more, and he's realistically going to get you back 2.
That's right.
And exactly as you said, you've got other options that will just give you 3 or 4, right? And why would you take him? I look at him and I go, why would I take him over like Cad Bane?
No, totally.
Cad Bane gives me 9 squad points, which means I can take anything,
Yeah.
right? He gives me a much better identity ability. And so to me, I think the only thing I feel like AMG way like they put a lot of value in force regen that is like passive, or so I feel like they make Mace 6 because he can, if he's in Jedi Master, he can give you two force regen that you don't like. You just activate him and you get that 2 force regen, right?
Yeah.
And here we've got Hondo. You just activate him and you get force regen, and they seem to value that massively, right? And it seems to impact the squad points that are available to units that give you that passive regen. Whereas you can kind of see it a little bit in Dooku, right? Where again he's kind of like 7 squad points, but he brings 4 force and he's really good, right? Like he actually does a lot for you. His identity is really cool. Whereas if it's a force ability that requires you to do something like wound a unit, they don't seem to value that as highly. So then you've
No.
got like Asajj, you've got Django, you've got Cad, who can all give you force back when they wound somebody, and they just sort of go, oh, we'll just throw that in for free. Whereas this passive force regen seems to be this bugbear where they're like, oh, we're so afraid of it. We're going to make them, 6 squad points, 7 squad points, and it just doesn't do enough for it. Like,
No, not at all.
yeah, like maybe, yeah, like fair. What's fair? It's possibly. Actually, no. I'm going to say it's actually worse than Luke's identity ability.
You reckon it's worse?
I reckon it's worse because as you said, I just can't see a situation where you ever want to do.
Yeah, I don't think the payoff is big enough.
It's definitely not. It's not even. It's not even for each character.
That's right. Yeah.
It's
That's right.
one or more. You get 2 dice. So you could have 3 characters engaged with this thing. They all get a strain, and you get 2 dice. Who in their right mind will ever use that ability, right? And it's
Yeah.
so situational, right? It's like they have to be a scoundrel. They have to have a ally engaged with the character they're attacking, and that
They're not
ally has
wounded.
to not be wounded. And
Mm.
then you get 2 dice, and your ally gets a strain. I'm like, what?
Nah, it's not
You
not a
could
good
make
payoff.
this an innate ability I would still never use.
Yeah. Yep.
It is honestly garbage. It is the worst identity ability that I've seen, and I'll say it's worse than Luke's. And I thought Luke's was bad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think he's a crowd pleaser, Hondo. One of my mates was really, really keen to get into the game when Hondo came, and I'm I'm like, don't buy Hondo, he's shit.
Yeah, I think this is the first. Like, I don't know. Do we want to move on from Hondo?
Yeah, let's look at Guam because it does not get
It's
better.
even worse.
I think
Why?
Guam is the worst character in the game. Is
So
is that is
Guam
that
is.
too far of a stretch?
I mean, Reva might give him a run for his money, but
No, I
okay.
don't
So
know.
Guam's a 3-point cost secondary. His tactic ability is he can pick another allied Weequay unit within 4, and each character in the chosen unit may dash. Okay, cool. So you're up there with Pons so far.
Oh no, definitely not. No, because Pons is board wide and it doesn't have to be
Yeah,
weak way.
that's true.
It's
That's true.
Galactic
That's true.
Republic,
That's
right?
true.
So, like, there's only
Okay, so he's losing to Pons on
he's
his
losing to
tactics.
Pons.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Guam you need to look at he's 3 points, right? So
Oh
who's
no, but
good?
Guam does get to dash both in the
Okay, fair call. Now
yeah.
I think you look at Guam, he's 3 points. Who else is 3 points?
Pons.
You look at Pons, also the Stormtrooper Sergeant. Stormtrooper Sergeant dashes both, but sorry, not dashes, advances both. Sure, it's for damage, but you get an advance on both, and it's supporting units, so across the board, Galactic Empire supporting unit, so across the board. I think this is the yeah.
Guam can do it on Hondo
Sure, it's on a
if you need to move Hondo.
yeah.
But
I
okay,
don't know.
look. It's not a great. It's an okay tactics ability, but it's not a great. Then he's got Spotchka rations for one force. Choose an allied scoundrel unit within 3. One character in the chosen unit may heal. Okay, cool. All right, so maybe that's how you can get rid of the strain from fair. What's fair?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a very like. I mean, it's an okay ability, but
Oh, you're gonna
it's
spend the force with this guy?
not really. And then he's got Pack Hunter for weak ways, which okay, that's fine. He's got Pack Hunter with weak ways, and then he he suffers from the Commander Cody problem.
That's right. Yeah.
Of his innate abilities. I've got you in my sights. Characters in this unit have Sharpshooter 2. When a character in this unit makes a range attack, the target does not benefit from cover. After this unit makes a focus action, it gains Hunker. That's cool, but he has no way of moving himself.
Nope.
He has no dash that he can use himself at all, and no way of getting a focus for free. So he is so rarely going to benefit from that Sharpshooter 2. But then you look at his freaking dice, and he's only got 5 at range and 5 in melee, because they're like, yeah, but if you focus, he's got 8. And we can't give 8 dice to a 3 cost, except what Stormtrooper Sergeant can often get 7. And,
Yeah.
Pons has 6. Which
6 with an expose most of the time, right?
True.
So it feels like 8.
So he's oh look, okay. His ranged expertise
It's
is
pretty
pretty
good.
damn tasty.
Yeah, I like
it's a
that.
tasty ranged expertise. But he's terrible. He's
Not
terrible.
great. Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's got a push on 2. He can do 3 damage and an expose on 2 successes. But he just doesn't come together. He suffers from Cody's problem of not having an easy way to focus, but he's worse than Cody because he doesn't have a dash. Like, at least Cody's got defensive maneuver.
Yeah. He's poor, really poor. But also just as poor are the supports.
The weak way pirates, maybe.
Oh, they're so shit. What do? They don't do anything.
No, go through it. Go through
All
what
right. So they're 8 health and 2. What do you call it? 2 wounds. I don't know what you want to call it. They can be wounded twice. They got 8 health, right? Which is 8. 8's not bad. Clones are jealous already. For a force, they can climb, which is a dash, and if you're not, engaged, you can go up, which is not bad, right?
Except that if you are engaged, you
Engaged.
can't use that.
No, you can dash still. You just don't get to go up.
No, because it's a climb.
Oh, they have to climb.
They have to climb, and you can't climb while you're engaged.
Yeah.
This is the same problem that Wolf's ability.
Yeah.
Because Wolf's ability lets you climb, which is, if you're not engaged, yes, you can just dash. But if you are engaged, you just get nothing.
Bit of a problem. So then they've got greedy. So when they're contesting, they're steadfast. We've seen this before on other units, right?
That's fine. That's all right.
That's pretty good. And then they get pack hunter. With other weak ways. The issue is they also only have 5 dice in both ranged and melee, and they're never getting more dice in range, right? They're only ever going to be 5 in ranged.
And they've only got 4 defensive dice. Their expertise is garbage.
Their expertise is shithouse.
I like their tree. I just can't
Their tree's
ever.
pretty good. Yeah, their tree's
The
like
tree's good, right? Like they got a push on one, they got reposition, they've got pin, they've got a second push, they got a heal, they got an expose. It's 5 long, 6
and you just
damage.
yeah 6 damage. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not terrible. You will just never use basically any of it because
Nah,
you
you'll
don't have
probably
enough
only
dice.
you might get 1 or 2 spots down your tree.
Yeah,
Might,
I
might.
agree. So you've basically got this box where every character is a miss. Like it just doesn't hit the mark.
No, every single one, every single character. I don't know how Hondo is a 7. I don't understand. Like obviously we've talked about the passive force regen, but the units he brings, you may as well bring just completely unrelated things, because they'll do better. Like it's just that
I tend to agree. I think you would be better off with almost anything.
you would be better off if you really love Hondo, just just use Cad Bane's card and sub him in as a proxy.
Yeah, just use his model.
Use his model
Use
because his model's
Cad's
cool.
card.
All right, his model's cool. He's got the blue and yellow parrot up the eels, but there's just nothing more to it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like
think
I struggle to see how you would use Hondo without because he's only in the Clone Wars era
yeah, that's another thing he suffers
or
from. He should be
whatever
cross
the
arrow. That would help him.
I feel like he should at least like he should at least be in like the fall of the what or whatever the Imperial the
Oh,
one that
Reign of
the
the Empire.
Reign of the Empire, yeah. He should at least be there, right? Because he shows up in Rebels,
Correct. Yeah.
right? And the Bad Batch have it. So why doesn't he have it? Because
Yeah.
then you wouldn't have to take Guam and the Weequay pirates. Like,
Yeah, you could take Grief Karga and the Bounty Hunters, right?
yeah, somebody better than what he comes with.
Yeah.
Yeah, bounty hunters and grief cargo
And then you
would be
pair him
interesting.
with Mando because Mando wants scoundrel tags as well. So
You
there's
can't.
but you can't. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, a bit
So,
sour on the box.
so would you buy the box? Have you bought the box?
uh, I heard of someone who bought the box and then cancelled the pre-order once he saw the card. No.
No. I attempted to cancel the pre-order.
Oh, it wasn't successful. That's
It
right.
wasn't successful. They didn't get back to me. It's
Mm.
fine. Look, I don't really mind.
No, I will not. This is one that I won't be touching with a 10-foot pole until an errata.
Yeah, I mean, look. See, when the game first dropped, I was like, oh, I think I'll mostly play good guys. I don't really want the Dooku box. And then when I played Dooku and Django and the Magna Guard, I was like, oh, they just seem really fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, people hadn't necessarily cottoned on to how good Django was a week after the game dropped.
Yeah, no.
Everybody was going mad for
Kenobi.
Bo-Katan. Well, Bo-Katan, they were like, "Oh, Bo-Katan's amazing, best secondary in the game." Blah blah blah. I was like, Rex seems pretty good. And
Yeah.
then everybody realized how ridiculous Django was. But it wasn't that. It was just like the Magna Guard seemed fun, and the way that Dooku was kind of like a foil to Anakin a little bit.
Yeah, that protective piece.
Yeah, so then I was like, and then I scrambled to find Dooku because the boxes were sold out.
Yeah.
So then since then I've kind of been like, I'll just put in a pre-order for everything. And this is the first box where I've just gone, I might paint Hondo because I like the pose of Hondo. That's probably all that's going to happen with this box for me. So no, I would not buy it.
No, yeah, do not recommend. And we try to see the silver linings in a lot of characters, and we try to look at for ways to make them good. So if you know of a way to make this box good, or something that you figured out that we haven't, please let us know. We're happy to be told we're wrong. Like obviously, we want every unit in this game to be playable, but currently, I don't know if you agree maybe with this statement, but currently, I don't think he's playable.
I mean, okay, he's playable. I just don't see why you would ever take him, except if you're just like
Having a piss
Hondo's
take.
Hondo's my boy, right? Like, and you're like Hondo's the only he's my boy. I have to take Hondo every time. Okay, fine. That's why you'll take him. I don't think you'll necessarily make him work, and I think almost any other option will be better than putting Hondo on the board.
Agreed. Yeah.
But that's a nice segue to our.
Yes, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Oh, I was going to leave it up to you. This was your idea.
Well, yeah, okay. So we've been tossing around the idea of, there are these characters that people think or feel are bad, and it could be justified that they are bad, or it could just be, you tried them when the box released and they didn't work then, and then you just dismiss it. But maybe now, 6 or 8 months down the track, there's more options, and maybe they're worth reassessing. There's new missions since some of these characters came out. So what we thought we'd do is we would run a TTS league. I guess it'll be a league.
Yes, it will be a league.
Yeah, where you're kind of locked in, or you're limited in what options you can bring. Right.
Yep.
So for this, what we did was we looked at Adepticon and we took basically the bottom half of the primaries, so the primaries that didn't perform super well. And we've said they're the primaries that you're allowed to use. So it's Grand Inquisitor, Vader 2, Luke, Ahsoka, Anakin, Padme, Plo, Chirpa, Logray, and Leia. But we're now going to throw in Hondo.
There's an additional. Yeah, I was going to say there's an additional one.
Yeah, so we're going to throw Hondo into that list as well. So you have to build your strike team out of those primaries, and then we have some additional requirements that we're putting in place. So these requirements are, again, trying to bring in those characters which people consider subpar or bad or crap, and just have a go with them. Just see if there's any way that you can make them work. It could just reinforce your opinion that they're bad, or it could be, oh look, I tried it, took it with something that I wouldn't normally take it with, and these are the strengths, and I could see maybe with some other options it'll work well. So what we've decided on is, if you take an Empire primary, you must take Reaver.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go Grand Inquisitor or Vader 2, you have to take Reaver. If you take an Ewok primary, you must take C-3PO and R2-D2. If you take a Republic primary, you must take Cody. If you take Luke, you must take Boush or Bausch.
Everyone's favorite.
I don't think we're going to put any requirement on Hondo because there's not a whole lot that he can take anyway.
No, he should enough as it is. He's his own requirement.
Yeah, so that's our league, and we're going to kick it off in a week or two. So if you're interested in signing up to the league, you need to join our Discord. Again, it's free.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay. There's no cost involved in the Discord or the league. It's just going to be a bit of fun. It's going to be on TTS. It's not going to be super serious, obviously.
Speaking about TTS, right? If you can play your game in person, if you know you live near them, please do that instead.
Yeah, we don't care. It doesn't have to be on TTS. It's just, I know we've got people from all over the place.
Yeah.
So you can, I think we put the link to the Discord somewhere. It's in the show notes, or it's in the.
It'll be somewhere.
Yeah, but you'll be able to find it easy enough. Sign up, join the league, and look, if you're listening to this in like 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks, join anyway. It's not a serious league. It's just have a bit of fun with units that you're probably not otherwise going to use.
Yeah.
Against other people that are having a bit of fun with other units that they don't, they wouldn't typically use.
That's right. It's just to get some games in with those underloved units. So this is going to be our first league as part of our Shooter Point League, and basically we're just going to be picking a different theme for every league. So just for an example, I don't quote me on this. This might change, but we might do a league where you can only take units with blasters, so no lightsabers allowed. Just dumb things, or like ladies' night, just like only female models. It's probably not enough for that yet, but like just dumb things like this that forces you a little bit out of your comfort zone. Because I know I only play good guys with lightsabers. Like I'm stuck to that. So.
And clones. You like clones too.
Oh, yeah, sorry, as primaries, yeah, but I do take clones. So, coming into this league, and I always kind of bring Obi-Wan. So coming into this league, I'm gonna have to try something different and new. So I'm gonna have a bit of fun with it. So just go with it. Go with the theme. Don't try and find the most optimal list and break it apart because
Well,
that's
you
not what we.
can, but people have already said they can't see a way to break it
Yeah,
necessarily.
well, that's right. So just have a bit. It's just a bit of fun. Like it's not like ultra competitive. It's just a bit of a piss take, kind of like this podcast is. Just a bit of a piss take.
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So,
Fantastic. Yeah, really looking
enjoying
forward
and
to it.
that, yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I mean, look, I don't massively enjoy TTS, but this is the perfect for me. This is the perfect thing for TTS. It's just a bit of fun. Don't take it seriously. If you get TTS jank, then you just deal with the TTS jank because you're playing some crazy list anyway. That's probably got some other jank on the cards.
Well, TTS
Yeah.
has actually been updated.
That's true. It
they've,
has.
they've taken out all of the maps that had jank, and they've cleaned up some of the ones that had a little bit of jank. So it's pretty fresh at the moment, and some brand new maps. So well, as of like what date are we? The 13th of April. So yeah, no, just a bit of fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, look, that's all we really had for today's episode. So it's a nice short one. One that you
What a
can.
change!
What a change from our mammoth, 2 hours plus.
2 hour. Yep.
Yeah.
Episode 4. Look at
Episode
us.
4.
I think we've
Yeah.
now caught up to Space Slugs.
We're
They've
coming
done
for you.
4.
We're
They
coming for you.
started way before us, and look at us. We're up to 4 episodes, just like them.
They're fancy though. They have guests on every episode. We don't.
That's true. We still have
We need
yet
to
to get
do
a guest on.
a fancy interview with a fancy guest. Yeah. That'll be number 5, I'm sure. We can arrange it.
Yeah, we should. I'm sure we can find somebody.
Yeah, well, unless they play Judgment or something, I don't know. I had to
That's
say it.
true.
I'm sorry. I had to say it.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair. All right,
No,
good
I
stuff.
love you, Jeff. I love you, Jeff. Don't take it personally, man. All right, all right. So make sure you keep your stances exactly where you are, and until
Keep-
next time,
Keep
this
your
is the way.
blasters charged.
And keep your blasters charged. But until next time, this is the way.
This is the way.
I'm a Mandalorian. Weapons are part of my religion. This is the way.